All right, y'all. I recorded another episode of this or whatever take of this and didn't like it, so here's a new one. Look, I want to teach you how to do a podcast. This is exactly what you need to do to start a podcast. I wish someone told me this when I was starting, but I just been doing this for about a year and a half on episode 65 of my own podcast. This is my podcast channel if you'd like to check it out. But I'd like to share with you how to start it, what to do, what you need, hardware, software, all that fun stuff, and hopefully this helps you out. This is not going to be a flashy episode or a flashy video where you're getting transitions and dings and bells and all this crazy stuff. I'm going to simplify this to the bare bones. You take your notes. If you can't stand through this for 30 minutes, whatever, however long this is, you can't stand through this to start your podcast, you're not going to make it in the podcast realm anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. This is going to be the most informative video for you, for anyone starting a podcast. This will help you. This is what I wish I was told. I wish somebody came to me and said, hey, watch this video. This is exactly what you need to do to start a podcast. I'm going to be going through free options, and I'm going to be going through paid options. You could start this with a phone. You could start this with nothing, zero money, and just do it by yourself. Go to the library, post the episode through your email, and be done with. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. All right, to start out, here's my website. This is my podcast. Start off, you need an idea and you need a niche. The way you could find this, way you could see what you're kind of all about is these three words right here: community, hope, healing. Find your three words for your brand and what you want to do. That's what you want to do. What do you want to surround it by? You want to what could you talk about for the rest of your life and not get sick of? For me, that's mental health. I talk about this till kingdom come. I will keep talking about this until I die. People always ask me, Trevor, do you really want to talk about this all the time? That's my Trump impression. And I say, yes, I want to talk about this until I die. This is something that I'll never get sick of. I love listening to people's stories. I love listening to the mental health tying into it. And I love listening to how they've overcome it and how we can help other people overcome it. So that's my shameless plug. Check out my podcast. But figure out what you want to talk about. Figure out your niche, what you think you could talk about for the rest of your life. If that's baseball, cool. Find the three words of baseball you specifically want to talk about. It will end up getting broader, but to start off, you just need something to start off. For me, it was veteran mental health. So I was focusing on veterans. I only had veterans on. Then I realized this is a bigger thing. I could talk to more people about this. I could talk to anybody about their mental health, and it'll save people. Not just veterans are committing suicide. Everybody is. So for me, I ended up broadening it, and that's, you don't need a huge audience. You're not going to get a Joe Rogan size audience immediately. Joe Rogan has been doing this for years. I mean, he's on episode almost 2,000 now. You're not going to get that audience immediately, and you don't even need to attract that type of audience, that huge of an audience. If you find your certain niche and your certain audience, there's how many people in the world? 8 billion people. You will find people that will listen to your show. That's what people think. That's a mental block that gets in their head. Who's going to listen to me? The people that you're talking to, your target audience. Who do you want to talk to? And they will find you. People will find you. Next, kind of in the back of your head is, will you have guests? This is still part of number one here. Will you have guests on the show? Is this something you want to do alone? If it is something you want to do alone, you can do it. It's done by how many people? You see a bunch of podcasts done alone, especially a comedian realm. A lot of people are doing it alone. But if you want guests, that's another part you got to start thinking about. And you want to write down your dream guests. So for me, I got a couple dream guests. I'll just give you a couple. Jordan Peterson is one of them. He's just in the psychology, mental health realm, and I would love to talk to him about it. Andrew Huberman would be good just to kind of talk to him about, what does he do? What kind of struggles he faced? I want to get into the struggles of people. David Goggins talks about his struggles a lot. I want to get into the struggles of people who don't typically talk about it. Jordan Peterson doesn't talk about his struggles. People talk crap on him because of his benzo addiction. I want to talk to him about his benzo addiction. Not to, talk crap on him. I want to talk through it and help other people with this addiction. That's just how I think about it, and that's how I think about the guests I will be trying to get until I get to Jordan Peterson. So on to the next thing here. Hardware. Everyone worries about hardware like they need this fancy mic that I got, need the mic that Joe Rogan got, all of that fun stuff. You don't need anything. You can use your phone. You can literally use your phone if you want to start this. You open up the audio app on your phone, start talking to it, send it to your email, and upload it. That's it. That's all you need. Phone. Free option. Everybody's got a phone. You could start it right now if you want to talk to yourself. I started for free. not for free. I have a webcam, but I clicked go on the webcam on this free recorder I'm using right now. I clicked go on my webcam. I was video journaling 30 to 45 minutes, and then I looked at the video journal about a week later and started to realize people could learn from this. So let me do a podcast. And then I just clicked go and started a podcast. That's it. You're worrying about too much. That's a big thing everyone worries about, is just the hardware. Everything comes in. Oh, I need hardware. I need software. I need the best of the best. You don't need the best of the best. So for free, use your phone. To upgrade, get to the essential upgrades, I guess you could say, the cheap upgrades, I would get this webcam. I've had this webcam for years, probably going on 6, 7, 8 years, something crazy like that. This webcam has not failed me. It's still running fine today. It's nothing crazy. It's not a camera. If you're doing it in person, you're going to need a camera. That's not something I know about, but I do know there are videos on YouTube on which camera you should get. So you go look that up. Webcam. Get this webcam. Link will be in the description. All these links will be in the description. Number 2 is microphone. So start with this microphone if you're trying to upgrade into a microphone. You can get this. Comes with a stand, so you don't need to buy the extender arm or anything. You can if you want. And the extender arms are typically universal. The one I got is universal, so any microphone I get after that, I'll still be able to use this microphone beam. So $90, it's cheap. To most people, it's cheap. There's not really the Blue Yeti is just good in general. I want to say they have a $40, $50 version, but I wouldn't buy that over the 90. I would just continue to use my phone. Your phone's better than I think that. I think it's more worth it to just use your phone. Unless you want to use a computer. So and laptops, if you're using a laptop, you already got a webcam. I would just plug in the Apple microphone, whatever microphone you get with the headphone. That's what I would use. And I do sometimes. That's how we started. If you go back to my episode 1, we started with phones. We started with this microphone, and my co-host was using the little microphone on his phone and with the headphones. And some of our guests still use it. It's still good quality. That's the thing. If you're having guests, they're not going to have this setup. So you don't have to go right into this setup anyways. This is just, I invested into this big one. Onto the next one, the Shure microphone SM7B, because I knew this was a hobby that I was going to be doing till Kingdom Come, till the rest of my life. I'll be doing this. So I viewed it as a hobby. I viewed it as a chance to gain some skills and something to do in my free time that I genuinely enjoy. I played hockey since I was 2, and honestly, there's no risk of injury when I'm recording a podcast. I get to talk, I get to expand my mind, and that's it. I love talking, and I especially love listening. So honestly, my headphones were more important than the microphone, but to the audience, the microphone's more important. So headphones, I just have Audio Technica. I don't have that pulled up actually, so let me pull that up for you real quick, and we will be right back. Bingo, Audio Technica, $50, nice and easy. I love them. They're over the ear. They plug in. It's too easy to buy these. They're $50. I've had $300 headphones. I had those Bose headphones. They were nice, but I like these more. The cord doesn't get messed up like the Bose ones do. You plug it right into this interface that you need for your microphone if you get the Shure SM7B. This will be something you need. So on top of that $400 microphone, you will be buying this for $100. To me, honestly, it was worth it. Like I said, I knew I was going to be doing this for a while. I knew this was something I wasn't going to quit. And honestly, for most people, when you put your money in, you got money invested, you start doing more. You got some skin in the game, so you don't stop. So that was a big motivator for me. On to software. All right, we're going to go into the free software, then we'll go into the paid options. But for free software, this is exactly, honestly, what I'm using right now. OBS, free software. You hook up your webcam. You hook up anything else, really. For our first probably 25, 30 episodes, we used OBS, and we mixed it with Discord. Both are free options. You invite someone to your Discord. You click on OBS. Discord option, you record your Discord screen, and that was really it. Free. Both of them don't take up too much of your power on your computer either, so nice free option. You can go with Zoom as well, but Zoom you have to pay for anything over 45 minutes, so I didn't do Zoom because my episodes were going to be longer than 45 minutes, hour and a half-ish type deal. So those are the 2 free options just to record, video record, and that is it. To edit, you use CapCut. Now, CapCut has a free option. It's $7 a month for the premium option. You get more transitions, you get more templates and all that fun stuff, but you can edit with this. I was using Audio Director. It was $50 a year, I want to say. I quit using that. It was a little off for me. It took longer to publish, or it took longer to edit. It was just, I don't know. I liked CapCut more. You could also use it on your phone for clips. So wherever I was at, if I wanted to create a clip, airport, whatever it was, I could just create a clip on my phone. So that is the free option. Now, when you create the clips, we're going to a little Canva. Canva is kind of like CapCut, just not for videos. That's why I kind of got rid of Canva. It's free, or you could pay $10 a month. Both of these you could use to create your logos and intros and all that stuff. I used Fiverr, to be honest. I paid $30 for someone to create my logo, and I paid $30 for someone to create our intro. I think actually it was $10-15, something like that, for our logo, and they gave me 2 options, something like that. I used Fiverr. It was cheap. Again, skin in the game. I wasn't the greatest. I didn't know how, to be honest, to create a logo. I didn't know what my logo I wanted my logo to look like, so I gave the guy a couple parameters, and I let his mind run wild. If you're not a creative person, again, Fiverr. Upwork, I want to say, is another good one. I can't really remember. I want to say that's more for freelancing, but you can get people on there to do your logo as well. Both can be free. Canva is $10 a month if you want to pay for it. Now, this is Buffer. So Buffer is how you will distribute your clips. I have my Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok hooked up. These are 3 essentials. I guess you don't really need Instagram. We'll go into accounts next, but you don't really need it. This is free, and you basically can post clips to everything at once. It's been a while. I should probably post some more clips, but see, you can post more clips at once at the same time. That's Buffer. Again, free. If you want more channels, more than 3 channels, that's when you start paying. So, how do you distribute, Trevor? Trevor, how do you distribute? So this is how you distribute everything. RSS.com. I use this because it's $5 for students. I'm saving a little extra money. I want to say it's $10 to $15, something like that for non-students. I use this just because the student benefit. They'll give you everything. There's setup videos all over YouTube. I'm not going to go into how to set it up. I'm just telling you what you need to distribute. You get an RSS feed, and that's what you use to distribute. So RSS feed is your distribution. This will all be in the description. I'll lay it out for you, but you should be kind of taking notes here. There is another option. I'll pull that up for you real quick and come back. So Spotify for podcasters is the other option. The biggest difference between the two is on Spotify for podcasters, your video will also be uploaded to Spotify. RSS does not upload your video to Spotify. I chose RSS also because they had transcript and chapters. I want to say Spotify for podcasters does too. I'm not too sure. And you could flip-flop between the two. If you don't like one, you can go to the other. And that's what I did. We did Spotify for podcasters first 25 episodes. I think on episode 28 or something, we switched to RSS feed, rss.com. So you can flip-flop. You could see which one you like more. I honestly, I'm thinking about switching back to Spotify for podcasters. So that's my 2 cents on that. And we will go into the paid options for streaming. So the free option for streaming, again, is OBS. You could connect your accounts to stream, but I was only able to connect my Twitch account, and I wanted to do more than Twitch. This is StreamYard. A lot of people are using StreamYard. It's not just me. I don't get paid for any of this. StreamYard has honestly been my favorite because there's so much you can do within it, and I thoroughly enjoy it. It's $20 a month, and you create studios. So each episode, I get a studio created. I invite guests to it, and it's really that simple. When you enter the studio, this is what your guests will see. Loading, I'm using both of these, so I'm not going to show you that. Enter, and then this is my favorite part about it is you get a brand. So you click down here, I'll join the thing, and I'll start talking, and it'll go live. When I click go live, and you can see me, and you can see everything else. I like it because once I click intro, it'll go into my intro. It really takes out a lot of the editing. For the first, I want to say, man, it was probably like the first 45, 50 episodes. I was editing our intro in, trying to find the right time for it and all that fun stuff. This is just way easier. I say, hey, welcome to the podcast, episode 65. We got this guy on. We'll catch you at the end of the intro. See you there. Click the intro. After the intro, it mutes both of us for the intro. Then we go right into the podcast, and it's something I enjoy. You could also, like I said, put in more video clips, put in my ad, my sponsorship. It's just way easier. You get an overlay. That's like you could throw in an overlay. You get different themes, you change the color, all that fun stuff. You can put background music if that's something you're trying to do. Not something I do, but again, I thoroughly enjoy StreamYard because StreamYard, you got all these different backgrounds you could do as well. I keep this background. I'm thinking about changing it. Let me know if you think I should change it in the comments. I would thoroughly appreciate some feedback. And then private chat. So your private chat, you can talk to the people you're on with, and comments. You get comments from where you're streaming to. So you could stream up to three platforms with the classic $20 option a month. And that's more than enough for me. I try to hit all X. I use X a lot. And we'll go into that after I go into our next little software. So our next software is Podpage. It is how we get a website. It does everything for you. I changed the theme. They give you a template. You change the theme. You put your logo in and all that fun stuff. You could pick how you want it laid out and all of that. But this connects to your RSS feed, and you can see right here everything you can go listen to it on. You get the store option, so I end up going to the store. We'll get into the store stuff after this, and then be a guest. So you come on here, people can be a guest, click my Calendly link after they fill out the form, and then when we got an episode with them, they're attached to the episode. So let me find a better option here. They're attached to the episode. So this is all of his right here. Bingo. He's got a bio on here and all that fun stuff. You could comment on here. And honestly, it's just I enjoy this the most because it's easy, simple, and honestly, a monkey could do this. A monkey could set it up. So you don't need too much to figure it out. And it is $10 a month. It connects to your RSS feed. Every time you upload something, it will upload straight to here. Page designer, all that fun stuff. So on to the merchandise. So you don't need merchandise. I like the merchandise. It's just something I like. I like wearing my own stuff. It's cool. It's a great feeling. You don't buy Nike. You end up buying your own stuff. And to me, that's just, part of being an entrepreneur. I just love doing it. Printful is how you will do it. So Printful is where you will create all of your merchandise, hats, clothes, all that fun stuff, backpacks, mugs, all that. I have, posters, that stuff. But Printful is how you will create it. And again, they'll teach you how to set everything up. There's YouTube videos all over the place on how to set it up. I don't need to create another one of those. I'm just here to tell you how to do it, what to do. And then Shopify. So Printful will connect to your Shopify. I want to say Joe Rogan still has a Shopify code where you can get it. I think it's $1 for the first 3 months. And then after that, I want to say it's $30. So can't really remember because I pay yearly. It's just cheaper a little bit by, I want to say it's like $100 cheaper to pay yearly. So that's what I do. This is what everybody uses, to be honest. If you see a store online, they're probably using Shopify. Shopify is awesome because they have all the extra stuff you need. Like you see here the little email stuff. You can get a wheel in there. You can, I want to say you could talk to us. There's just Shopify's the go-to for anyone creating a store. So that's just what I use. We'll go on to the next point here. So I'm going to explain the accounts that you need now. This is the fourth step. What accounts do you need to set up? You don't want too many. It'll get confusing. It'll get too much to post. It'll get too much to publish and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to just go over the essentials here and let you know how to do and think about it. X, Elon took over and X has just become the greatest platform. It's got everything you need. You can comment, you could write, you could do everything on here. You post videos, all that fun stuff. So X is what I use for everything. I go to X for everything. Now, I do have a podcast page on X. However, I'm using my personal account because to me, it's more important that people know me and they know that I run the podcast. Just the podcast account, it's harder to plug myself in. It just gets a little more complicated. I'm not going to post on 2 accounts. It just gets kind of ridiculous. So X is what I use. And you could get into your own echo chamber. Not that it's the best thing to do, but you could follow people, type in mental health, and there will be people that you could follow and kind of start commenting under so they know about you and people can see about you. That's why I like X. Now, next is TikTok. TikTok is a must. You know, people kind of don't understand funneling when you first start. I didn't understand it unless you have some experience in it. You don't understand it, but you need a funnel. You need something that people can go to and then realize, oh, I want to see more. Let's go to this. So even in person is a funnel. I'll tell everyone that I do the podcast when they ask me what I do. I'm a funnel. Once I tell them that, they ask for the website. I give them the website. They can check everything out on their own. TikTok's like that for me digitally. It's essentially telling people, hey, I got a podcast. Check out my podcast. Here's a video clip of it, whatever it may be. Go check it out, and I'll see you at my podcast. TikTok is great for kind of all ages. People are using it around the world. You could post at different times and get great feedback and great performance at different times because everyone around the world is using it. You could reach everyone around the world, and X is kind of the same way. This is why Buffer is important, because you could post to TikTok and Twitter at the same time and reach both markets. TikTok, again, is a little for younger people, but there are older people on there. On to the next. These are the 3 essentials. Facebook. I got a Facebook just because all my old friends are on Facebook, everybody from high school, all that stuff. There's older people on Facebook like there isn't on all the others. There's no over 60, over 70 on TikTok or Twitter, really. I mean, there is, but Facebook just has a wider margin of people. And kind of everybody uses it. So it's kind of like TikTok. Everybody kind of uses it. And just, again, a different audience. Like I said, Buffer, you only get 3 places to post before having to pay. And so does your StreamYard. So StreamYard, you only get 3 places to live stream. I choose Facebook for one of them. I try to hit all different, like I said, all different markets so I could attract all different kinds of people. Now, if you are doing a certain type of market, if you're doing baseball, I would hit all 3 of these. If you're doing something only kids would like to hear or the youth would like to hear, you're doing, let's say, some youth ministry on church or religion, whatever that is, I would use TikTok mostly, and I would focus solely on getting my TikTok going because that's where all the audience is. So you got to think of your target audience, who you're trying to hit, and the accounts will follow. Next, it's not absolutely crucial. Instagram. A lot of people use Instagram, but it's hard to gain a following because it's not like TikTok where my videos will get posted into the algorithm, really. This is more of people know of my stuff. People like my stuff. They send it to people. That's really it. The biggest way to grow on Instagram is when they send your video to someone. And they don't really come on Instagram to see podcast clips unless you're Theo Von. Yeah, that's really it. Instagram, it's like I said, it's harder to gain traction. But I use Instagram because when I blow up, people will have a library of clips to go to. TikTok's the same way. They'll have a library of clips to go to. I'm hitting 2 markets at the same time. And you could post to Instagram. Like I said, I got that linked with my TikTok and my Twitter on Buffer. Post all together. On to the next here. LinkedIn. So I use LinkedIn because, my subscription will expire in 2 days. Dang. Good to know. I use LinkedIn for guests mostly. This is the more professional thing. You can go on LinkedIn and I could type in psychologist and I could talk to a psychologist. I could type in professor of psychology. I could talk to a professor. Philosophy, talk to a professor. This is the more, anybody who has some type of credentials is probably on LinkedIn. Anyone that's more professional is going to be on LinkedIn. They're not going to find your stuff on TikTok or Instagram and be like, let me talk to this guy. You reach out to them on LinkedIn and you get your guests. I would say it's 50-50. I get my guests from Twitter and LinkedIn, put them together, good to go. Like I said, you're trying to hit more platforms. I don't post on here a lot. When you start your account, go to network, type in who you want. I type in psychologist, and I just start adding all these people right here. Here, I'll connect right now. Send without a note. Send everything without a note, and boom. You could go in here. I want to say it's like 100 a day, and you just click in connect. Slowly, you'll build up, and these people, Christy Hernandez, will end up seeing my connection. She'll connect with me, and one of her friends will see, oh, Christy is connected to Trevor. Let me connect to him. And people just want to connect with more people on LinkedIn. That's the whole goal, is to connect. Those are all the accounts you really need. You don't have to go too much further. I do Twitch to live stream as well. I want to do Rumble, but right now it's just Twitch. I don't even have it posted here. I just have it kind of automatically set up. If you're starting on OBS for free, I live stream to Twitch. It's not crucial that you live stream. You don't have to live stream. I like it because if I get 10 people listening, that's kind of been recent. I like doing that. I get 10 people listening. I could talk to them pretty much face to face. They're in the room with me. And if they want to comment, they can comment. And I like being able to capture a live audience. That's just something I like. You don't have to do it. And if you don't want to do it, OBS is your way to go. Go on Discord with the guest and boom. This way also, when you're on Discord, you're creating a community. Every guest you get comes into your Discord channel. Now all your guests are together and have a way of talking to each other. But that is it. We'll go on to the last thing, and that is your schedule. So your schedule, when you are starting, you need an aim. I went and saw Jordan Peterson live. It's the same for morals. You need a moral aim. You need to aim high. So for me, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing as many as I could, really, and I just needed an aim at the start. And I was shooting for an episode a week. That's a lot to some people. You can do an episode a month, episode a year, whatever you want to do. Episode every other month, whatever you want to do. Depends on your niche, depends on how much you could talk about it. But for me, I wanted to do an episode a week, and that's how I did it. It was just, I hit, I want to say 36, 37 episodes the first year, which is not bad. More than 50%. I take that all day. And this year I'm trying to just beat that. You need an aim. Without an aim, you are worthless. I have created a thread for all of this on Twitter. This is definitely more in depth, but it's all written down. I will leave that link in the description below. Now, the last thing I really want to just touch on real quick before I let y'all go is guests. When you're inviting a guest, people love to talk about themselves. If someone's going to listen to what they have to say, they love to talk about it. Don't be hesitant to reach out to a guest. If you're providing value, they're going to want to come on your show. What rich people don't have is time, so you need to make it worth their time. That should be your goal. If you want this dream guest on, I want Jordan Peterson on, it needs to be worth his time. That's it. So I could constantly reach out to him, constantly, but he's not going to come on until he sees it's worth his time. That's the only thing rich people think of. They don't think, oh, this guy's worse than me, this guy's less than me. They don't think about that. This is whole imposter syndrome. They're not thinking about you. Rich people want to help you out. The big shots want to help you out. So you see a guy with 100,000 followers on Twitter or whatever, reach out to him. Worst they could say is no. Oh, no. On to the next. That's it. Don't hesitate to reach out. These people, they want to help you. They're not too good for you. They're just a person just like you. We're all just people. This is one thing religion has helped me with. We're all just people. Everybody wants to help each other out. And these rich people who see something in you, have a connection, that's number one. Or that's something you got to shoot for when you're DMing them, is start a little connection. When I see someone who's got suicide or something in their bio, mental health in their bio, I connect to them, say, hey, man, I got a mental health podcast to talk about what you're talking about. Would you like to come on? And no matter the followers, they typically say yes because this is what they care about. So that's honestly all I have. I hope this helps you out. I wish there was something like this for me when I started. There really wasn't. There's a million other videos. This is the absolute groundwork framework you need to get started. There's free options. There's paid options. And if you need help, my Discord will be linked in the description. You could reach out to me, and I'd love to help you out. Other than that, stick to it. 90% don't make it past episode 3. Of that 10%, 90% don't make it past episode 20. If you make it to episode 20, you're in the top 1% of podcasts. Think of it that way. Probably should have said that earlier, but if you made it this far, that's the gem I'm leaving you with. If you want to come on my show, again, shoot up Discord, leave a comment, something like that. We'll get together. We'll get you on the show. If you want to just talk about setting up your podcast, again, I would love to help anybody set up a podcast. This has been my favorite hobby since I was a kid. Like I said, I played hockey, and it was awesome. There's risk of injury. I've done a million other hobbies, found something to do. This has been my most fun. I get to talk to people. I know what I'm doing, so now this is the groundwork I have. When I click record and when I finish recording, that's it. I'm done. I know what to do with the recording, and it's just click, click, click. Takes me about 30 minutes to get the recording done. So, yeah, I really hope this helps. Leave a like for me, please, if it does. Leave a subscribe for me if it does. And comment if you need anything at all, and I would love to help you out. Everything, all links will be in the description, and I look forward to seeing all the podcasts created from this. Again, I am Trevor, founder of the Mind Over Matter podcast. I will catch y'all later.